Good morning, lovely. You're watching Yoga with Audrey Jane. I am Audrey, and today I'm going to take you through a gentle morning flow to help ease us into the day. So we're going to start off in child's pose and do some breath work there, and then we'll get moving a little bit more. So bring yourself round on your mat. You can choose where you want to put your knees. So you can either have them together, this gets into the lower back a little bit more, so maybe if you've got some tightness in the lower back, this is a good option for you. If you're tighter in the hips, you may want to take your knees further apart, maybe as wide as the mat. Also, if the hips aren't quite touching the heels, you can pop a cushion or a bolster just in the space here and it'll feel a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to sink the chest down onto the mat. You can bring yourself all the way down, letting the head rest down on the mat. The arms can either be outstretched in front of you, or if you want to feel even more rested, you can pop the head onto the cheek and maybe curl the arms round behind you. Allow the body to sink into the mat. And just give yourself a few moments to really let the body slow down. Or maybe if you've just got up, you're just waking up. And let everything be soft. Release any tension in the jaw and across the eyes. And then I want you to bring your focus to your breath. Just observing the pace of the breath as it moves in and out of the body. The belly fills and empties with each breath. Noticing which part of the body moves as you inhale. Is it the belly that fills up, or is it the chest that rises? A lot of us breathe up into the chest, and it's actually not the most effective way to breathe. We want to really breathe deep into the lungs, down into the belly. So as you inhale, try and fill the belly, feel it push out against the legs, and then as you exhale, feel it fall back. We're going to bring in a counted breath where we inhale and exhale for the count of 3. So let's start by taking a big inhale together. Slow exhale out through the nose. And then inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale back out through the nose. Inhale and exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. Last round. Deep inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Now just let the breath return back to normal. Super gently you're going to bring yourself up to sitting, so bring the hands round if they're behind you and peel the body up. You're going to come into a comfortable seated position. That might be crossed legs. You can pop a cushion or a bolster underneath your hips, or you might prefer to have your legs out long in front, whatever feels best for you. You're going to sit nice and tall to begin with. Let the shoulders drop down. Take a big breath in, sigh it out. One more deep inhale. Big cleansing sigh. Lovely. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. You're going to bring the hands round to the side of your hip. And then you're going to take the shoulder and the ear towards each other. So you're bringing the ear down towards the opposite shoulder. And we're going to feel a nice stretch up the back of the neck. Breathing into it. And then if it feels nice, you can start to curve the chin round from shoulder to shoulder, a little half circle. And you might feel the odd crunch and crack, that's totally normal, it just is your neck releasing it off. We'll do 2 more of these. Beautiful, bring the head back to the middle. You're going to swap the hands over to the other side, hooking them round at the other hip. Then we take the ear to the opposite elbow. That wouldn't be elbow, that would be shoulder, wouldn't it? Then we're going to take the ear to the opposite shoulder. Curl the chin round and back. Round again. And do a couple more of these. And then bring the head back to the middle. Release the hands, give them a little bit of a shake. We're going to take the hands onto the knees and then we're going to make circles with the torso. And I call this the coffee grind because it's like you're circling, like when you make coffee and you grind up the beans. Some people call it a Sufi grind. Doesn't really matter what you call it. It just makes your body feel really nice. So you're going to take the chest forward and you're going to lift the chin up. And we're stretching up the front of the body here. And then you're going to curl the body round. As you curl round, you're going to bring chin to chest and arch into the back. And then when you come back towards the front, we lift the chin up, we stretch out the front. And we move really slow. And what this does is it stretches out the front of the body. It also releases off the lower back with circular motions. It's bringing a little bit of flexibility to the vertebrae as we move the spine in opposite directions. You can start to bring the shoulders into it. Maybe you're going to lean a little bit further forward, stretch out the hips. Breathing all the time, nice long deep breaths. Maybe you'll inhale forwards and you'll exhale back. And if you're short of time, this can be a really good movement to do when you wake up in the morning, just to get everything kind of released off, creating a little bit of space in the body. Everything seizes up a bit at night as all the tissue knits together, so we have to release it all. And go the opposite way. The shoulder can lean in. To try and keep the hips on the mat so we're not lifting up as we go to the side. Do one more round. And then come back to the middle. Beautiful. Sit nice and tall. And take a little stretch to the side. So pop one hand down to the side, the other arm comes up and over. We're going to really reach through the top fingers as if somebody's pulling the fingers to make the side body really long. Again, we want to keep the hips on the mat though. So we're not coming over so far that we're almost falling. We're using that hand at the side to support us. Take a big breath into the ribs, really stretch out the side body. One more. On the next inhale, sweep the arms up and over. We'll swap to the other side again, like somebody's pulling those fingers, making your side really long. Breathing into it. Long, steady breaths. 2 more breaths here. Lovely. Take it up and over. We're going to come round now into our cat-cow. So take the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Let the belly drop down, the head's going to come up for our cow posture. And you might even like to bend into the elbows a little bit, and you'll see that this arches more into the lower back, which can be quite a nice stretch if you're tight there. You can give the hips a little bit of a sway, and then you can push the ground away, arch up into the back for our angry cat. Maybe have a rock back and forwards. Really stretch into the hands, push the fingers into the ground. You might even come all the way back to child's pose, have a little bit of a sway, and then bring yourself back up. Drop the belly down, lift the head. Let's move with the breath. Inhale as you push the ground away, arch into the spine. Exhale, drop the belly down, look up, tilt the pelvis. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale, drop down. We'll do 2 more of these. Beautiful. Now we're going to take the hips back, come down to sitting. We're going to move into our butterfly posture. So for this, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. This is Baddha Konasana. And you can play about with where you want the heels to be. You can bring them in really close to the hips if you like, but you'll probably find the knees lift up a little bit depending on how flexible you are in the hips. I prefer to have my legs a little bit further away so the knees aren't sitting quite so high. You're still getting a beautiful stretch into the hip, it's just not quite so tight. It can feel quite nice to grip the ankles and give yourself a little pull up, lifting the chest nice and tall through the crown of the head. We'll just hold here for 2 breaths to begin with. Soften the shoulders. Breathe deep into the belly. And then we're going to walk the hands down. Bringing the chest that little bit closer to the feet. And really let the weight of the chest bring you down into it. You're not pulling yourself, it's just a very passive stretch where it's the weight of the body that's stretching you. And we'll hold here for 2 long breaths. Back up. We're just going to cross the legs. From here we're going to take a little stretch to the side. So lift through the crown again, twist towards one of your knees. I'm going to do both so it doesn't matter which one. And then walk the hands down so the chest comes down over the knee. Breathing in and out. And then you're going to walk the hands round and take it over to the other knee. Breathe deep. Beautiful. Bring it back to the middle, walk it back up. And we're just going to change the way we have the legs. So we naturally usually put one leg under the other. It's just the way that feels most comfortable for us. So then swap the legs round and see if it feels a little different. So for me this feels really bizarre because it's never the way I choose to have my legs. Maybe you swap them about. Again, we're tall through the crown of the head. We take the twist over the knee and we lower the chest down, and it'll feel slightly different because the legs are in a different place. Always thinking about that breath, deep and steady into the belly. Without the breath, yoga is just fancy postures. We really need the breath to connect the body and the mind. And then when we get the focus, we get the connection with the soul. One more breath here. Walk the hands round, take it over the other leg. gentle. We're slowly going to make our way down to lying on the mat for our final posture, Shavasana. So you can either have the knees bent up. A good way to do this is to take the feet as wide as the mat and let the knees fall together. This is our supported rest. Or you can have the legs out long. Whichever feels best for you. If you're like me and you've maybe got a little bit of a niggle in the lower back, it can feel better to have the knees bent up. Allow the body to be nice and heavy, softening down, enjoying this little bit of stillness for today. It's not often you get to do nothing. Release any tension across the face and create a little bit of space between the teeth, letting the tongue drop away from the top of the mouth. Shoulders are relaxed. We're going to spend the next minute just enjoying the feeling of connecting with our body and our breath, slowing the mind down, maybe getting a little glimmer of the soul. Please feel free to pause the video and lie for as long as you need. I always recommend a nice long Shavasana. If you're feeling ready to move, then you might like to take a stretch, or maybe you're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, a little rock. Or stretch the arms and legs out long, have a big stretch, maybe a yawn. Ooh. And then make your way onto your favourite side, lie there for a couple of breaths. And super slowly come up to sitting. And we'll just seal our practice with a nice deep breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale them down to heart center. Pause and just take a moment to recognise the fact you've taken a little bit of time out of your day for you. And you always need it, and you definitely deserve it. Namaste, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you next time on the mat. If you have enjoyed this video, it really helps me to be able to make more. If you can like and subscribe, it just spreads that yoga love. Take care, have a good one. Thank you.